down in Princeton. I am with WastePath out of Calvert City, Kentucky, and we have been awarded the solid waste franchise for the city of Princeton starting January 1st.
So you'd get to go around and replace every dumpster and every trash can in basically the city limits.
Every dumpster, every residential cart in the city limits of Princeton.
We ought to be done by tomorrow.
I should have been done yesterday.
That won't be bad, right?
There's one or two floating around there.
Well, how did that come? As far as now, are you from Princeton? Because we're all going to get to know you, because eventually we're all going to yell at you at least once or twice. So you might as well get to know us all.
As a sales rep, you take on that responsibility of being yelled at. I'm originally from North Florida. I moved up to Kentucky in 2004 for football for Murray State, and I actually live in Paducah. Our corporate office is out of Calvert City, so I'm everywhere between point A and point B.
Well, that makes it pretty easy if you're if you're everywhere. Now, what'd you do before you did this?
I've got a very unique deal. I've worked with trucking companies. I've done operations manager for trucking companies. I've been in sales. I've owned my own business. I've been in the duck hunting industry for about 8 years.
Wait a minute, duck hunting. Now, see, I found something interesting right there. The rest of it, it's like trucking, duck hunting. Whoop! What'd you do?
I was the owner of Backwoods Decoy Systems. We made Texas rigs for duck hunting, for duck decoys. I'm the reigning world or 2013 World Duck Calling Champion. Done a lot of competitions, worked with a lot of different call companies, and I enjoyed it. It's a different industry.
All right. What got you into duck calls to the point where you're a reigning champion world calling duck guy?
ADHD.
Well, hi. How are you? I've got it too. How about that? When like minds think, there we go. Is it just something that would keep you out of trouble, or? It
would. I grew up in North Florida again, and we did a lot of hog hunting and turkey hunting, and then I moved up here, and there's no hogs, and these little yard chickens y'all call turkeys up here didn't do nothing for me.
Oh, wait a minute. Them are fighting words right there.
And so wasn't big on the still deer hunting, and I needed something different to do that I could talk to my buddies and hang out while I was doing it. And one buddy took me duck hunting, and the rest is a lot of money in history.
You were instantly addicted, I guess.
Absolutely.
That's one of those things. You know what? I think, well, even when, of course, my son is right there on the borderline of all of it. And, Dr. Littlejohn said, you know what? If you keep that boy in sports and maybe a little karate and stuff like that, he'd probably, he'll focus a whole lot more. And guess what? He does. Yep. It's amazing what it can do for you when you focus your mind onto something, right?
Well, and also, if you're in especially the hunting industry, as expensive as it is, you don't have money to get in any other trouble. So there you go.
Well, no, that's true. It's a cheap thing to get into, right?
No, not at all.
I don't think anything's cheap anymore to get into.
No.
Is it a big deal down in Florida? Is that something they do? Is that a big thing, I guess?
No. I had never heard of duck hunting until I moved to Kentucky.
Oh, wow.
There's really not a big call for it down there. So this is something, I've kind of taken it back home a little bit and done some hunting down there with some buddies. But until I moved up here, ducks were the little white thing at the park.
Well, welcome to our house. That's and of course, now that you're here and you're working for WastePath, I mean, what has happened, I want to remind everybody kind of where we're going. WastePath is going to be taking over the trash service for Princeton as of January 1st?
January 1st.
And, of course, now this doesn't go for, all of Caldwell County or anything like that. This is Princeton at this time, this moment, right?
Correct. Everything inside the city limits of Princeton.
Okay. Well, the first thing everybody's going to want to know is, are you bringing me a new trash can?
Absolutely. We will actually be ordering brand new cans because I don't just have 3,200 cans randomly sitting around my yard. So we will be getting brand new residential cans, brand new commercial cans, and also brand new front load dumpsters for all of our new customers in the city limits.
Front load dumpsters. Are there different loads? I mean,
well,
I gotta ask. I don't know. Front load dumpsters. What is that?
So for all intents and purposes, there's three things that the customers here in town need to know: is you have your carts, or as I think everyone in town calls them, Herbie Kirby's.
Well, not everybody.
Well,
but
that's something I've heard here, and that's a new one. And those will go to all the residents. Each resident will have that. And then most of your businesses have the front load dumpster, which are essentially when you see the truck pull in, it picks up, it goes over the front of the cab of the truck and dumps in the top. And then you also...
Doesn't take up a lot of room either, right?
No, not at all.
Because it's not like you've got to turn around and do all kinds of stuff with it.
Just pull in, grab it, and go.
Gotcha.
And then you also have the roll-offs, which are the big construction dumpsters. Now, I do have to say that is not included in the franchise. So that is not mandatory for inside the city limits. So we do offer that service, and we're going to be very competitive on that service and pricing, and we'll have some special pricing for Princeton. But if you do have a roll for need one, residential clean-out, stuff like that, you can always call in, and we can get pricing on that for you.
Okay. Well, what else do we need to know?
We need to know that it's going to take a minute. My job right now is to work on the commercial end. I'm getting all the front load dumpsters. I'm trying to stop into every commercial industry in the city, which there's a lot of y'all. So we're trying to stop in, find out what your dumpster needs are. If we're going to do this and start over, let's do it right. So we're trying to find out what size you need, what frequency you need, and also give you your new pricing that you will be paying starting January 1. And I've got to get those ordered. We've got to order those in the next couple of weeks because we're ordering close to 350 cans to get in the city. So we got to get those on order. And then
you say cans, we say dumpsters.
Dumpsters, cans.
Well, I just want to make sure. I mean, everybody says, well, that ain't very many trash cans. We're talking about dumpsters.
Dumpsters, yes.
And that's the other part of it. When they say, well, it's January 1st, why don't I have to worry about doing that now? Why is any of this important to me now?
Well, as a resident, it's not. If you don't own a business, not a manager with a business, not associated with a commercial type deal, it's not. There's nothing you need to worry about right now. There's actually nothing you'll need to be worried about at all. We'll handle everything. As far as the main part of this is getting the commercial people to get in contact with me and let me know, hey, I have not talked to you yet. I have not seen you. Here's what I have. Here's what I need. And get that on the books. If you're a residential customer, you just continue on like you are. When we get closer to time for this starting, a brand new card will show up at your house, and you'll start using it January 1.
It'd be like magic, right?
Just show up.
Well, and here's the other part. Now, you may have already answered this, but I want to clarify. For those of people like me, I'm like, okay, well, does that mean between now and January 1st I have to have two dumpsters sitting there side by side? When is one going to magically, am I going to need to have room for two of them for a little bit?
We will have to work hand in hand with each place because everything is case by case. If we get into a place in time to set the dumpsters and there's room, we'll do those first. Okay. We'll get our dumpster set in there. You'll continue to use your current one till the December 31st. January 1, we'll move. But with just about everywhere, there will be a transition period where there'll probably be two dumpsters there. Okay. Because you've got to service them to a certain point and then pick up service there. So that
doesn't mean you use both. That just means they're there, right? You can't fill them up.
No.
Overflowing both, right?
And we once we get them in, we'll continue. We'll start our service January 1 and start picking up from there.
Recycling?
At this time, no. That was not included in the franchise. There's really not a big enough call in West Kentucky, unfortunately, for that right now. The green movement is pushing, so that may be something we reconsider in the future. But right now, the franchise does not cover that.
All right. Now, this is something important. We like our curbside pickup cleanup day. Is that something that...
Your spring cleanup is still happening.
We like that here.
Yeah, Mayor Young was very, very adamant on making sure
that Coda.
He was there for y'all on that one. He wanted to make sure that it stayed in effect and that it stayed as efficient as it has been for years past. And we do have a plan in place that will continue as normal from year to year.
All right. Now, you're going to get covered up in the fall with yard waste, too.
Yes.
I mean, that's something that we're all going to fuss about at one point. So go ahead and tell us what we're fussing about.
As far as?
Yard waste.
Well, yard waste actually can't go in the carts that go to the side of the road. And the reason being for that is there's compactors in each one of these trucks. And when you start putting stuff that is flammable, that can catch on fire in the truck and it starts compacting, it gets warm and tense.
That happened this year.
Yes.
By the way, I don't know if you knew that. That happened this year, ironically. I've seen that happen a lot, though, across the country. I've read that many, many times lately, especially with the heat of the summer and projects going on and construction going on. I've heard of that a lot.
Absolutely. It is a real concern. And then you also run into the fact of you're taking stuff that's flammable and putting it in a landfill that is nothing more than a big compost heap. So it creates heat. And,
I mean, there's that. Well, now, as far as what do we need to do now? I mean, now we're thinking about contacting you. Is there, all of that good? What do we need to have handy when we call?
As far as right now, the only thing that I need contact with all the commercial industries. You can reach me always on my cell phone number, and that's 270-252-5302. You can text me, email me at Bradley, BRADLEY, at wastepath.com. And right now I'm just needing to find out and make sure I've talked to every commercial industry, whether you have a commercial cart or whether you have a commercial dumpster. I need to talk to everyone independently, find out exactly what you need, get your new price, make sure I have you on the list so I've got all your stuff ordered, so when this does take over, we're good to go.
And then it can just be seamless. It can be, the magic trash fairies just delivered a new can and Bob's your uncle. It's over with.
That's why I'm here. I'm trying to make it as seamless as possible, I really just want one contact with me to find out what you need, and then everything else will just magically happen, and the trash fairies will take care of everything else.
Now, as far as the pricing and the billing and things like that, is that, first of the year, that's when they got to worry about that, right?
Absolutely. When I talk to each commercial entity, I will be giving them a price. I'll tell you about what it is. That way you can budget for next year. I know a lot of companies do a July fiscal year, so they need to start budgeting for the last 6 months of that year. So I'll go ahead and give you the price. That way you know exactly how it is. This has been approved by the board. It's been voted on by the city council. It's good to go. It's in price, and that's for 36 months, 3 years, with no increase. So the prices I'm giving here for residential and for commercial are locked in for 3 years guaranteed.
Well, I'm not saying that we're accident prone, but what happens if something happens? I mean, because I've been known to run over a trash can before.
Yes, that happens. It does. As it stands right now, we will be handling all the operational and issues through our corporate office in Calvert City. So at any time you can call us and let us know. But we're also going to have, as it stands right now, we're going to have several carts for the residential staged at a certain location with the maintenance department in the city. And so if we have a couple of carts that need to be replaced, we can give them a call and say, hey, can you run those out there for us? And as of right now, that's how that's going to happen. And if not, if they don't have them on hand, I've got a delivery and repo team that's what they do. They deliver carts for me. So you can call us, let us know what's going on, and we'll get it out there to you.
What would you say to anybody that is concerned about you not being present in Princeton? And that's a concern for people, and we're going to tell you about it one way or the other. So you might as well tell us what you're going to say now.
Well, my thing is that we might not have a place here in Princeton. I get that we're based out of Calvert. We're close enough. We're 2 counties away. But also your other neighbors, City of Eddyville, we've had that franchise for almost 3 years now. And we've been servicing that commercial and residential also. So Princeton was the next connection point for us. Neighbors jump right there. So although we're not necessarily here, I will have a major presence here in town myself, and also with the company, because you're going to be seeing my trucks in town when this starts Monday through Friday. I'll have a truck of some sort, more than likely, in the town, so we will be running it, and we'll be handling the issues through our office so we can make sure we get them taken care of if there are any.
Okay, now as far as the office, now you had told me before that you have a hotline. Like if your trash doesn't get picked up that day, I mean, don't get me wrong, you're the first person we're going to start yelling at, but because you're the first one we've met, so we're gonna, that Bradley guy, what's his name? But do you have a hotline for things like that?
We have a line that'll be called in, and it'll come into into my office of some sort, and someone in my office will be handling it. And if it's as simple as we missed it, which I don't ever want to happen, we've got great drivers, so hoping that don't happen. It'll happen. It will happen. It always does. But we'll handle that as we can, and then if it gets to become a bigger issue, then you get to deal with me directly. So, well,
there you go. That's what I say. Just yell at him directly. Why have a middleman? I like to cut to the chase. I don't like middlemen. But if it's, as far as signing up and doing all those things, you can go on the website or, give you a call, especially to businesses. If they haven't called you already, if they haven't saw you walk into into their business, who do they call? Where do they get a hold of you at?
My cell phone number is always the best thing to go through. It's always attached to my hip. If I'm not doing something very important like a radio show, it's right there on me, ready to answer.
See, and he knows. He knows.
And again, that's 270-252-5302, and that comes directly to me. If you haven't seen me come in your business, and also if you're a manager of a franchise or a corporation, I understand some of the businesses here, you don't handle your trash pickup. You don't have that say-so.
Right.
But I still need to know what size dumpster do you have, how many times do y'all want it picked up, and from there, my expertise will pick in to go, okay, I know who your third-party solid waste broker is. I will tackle everything else through them. I just need to know a contact for inside the store and know what you have and how many times a week it picks up, and if that meets your needs right now.
Well, that's important to know for a lot of businesses that say, you know what, it doesn't just roll over automatically. I do need to talk to you. That's not something that's just an automatic thing.
Exactly. We want to talk individually, and more. It's like one of these deals. Is it what you need, or do you have what you need? And especially the hometown places. I've talked to several already that we've went in and went, okay, here's your pricing. Is this what you need? And they go, well, actually, I think I want to go up a size. I want to have that extra security of capacity. And we've increased several places here in the town already that just want a little bit bigger dumpster. Don't necessarily need it, but the pricing's there, and they go, let's do it just in case for those couple busy weeks a year I have.
Okay, and let's just say that, you know, it was to go forward, and so this would be the same whether it's a city or a county or whatever. It's the same process, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
I appreciate it.
If you're just joining us, it's Bradley Markey and Waste Path Disposal Solutions. And this is the guy we're going to yell at. You can see his picture on our video feed. You need to make sure that you look at him so you'll know who you're yelling at. But he's the one that we're going to be dealing with on a regular basis starting January 1st for waste removal in the city limits of Princeton. This is, again, it's not for Caldwell County as a whole. This is for Princeton city limits.
Correct.
And if you're a business owner, we need to contact this fella, and he's going to come by and tell us all the skinny on the dumpsters and what to do and how to do it, right?
Correct. And that's the most important part is making sure that I've talked to every business, because I've got to get them on order, get the dumpsters in here, get them set up and ready to go for you. So if you haven't contacted me, please reach out, email, cell phone, however you need to get in touch with me, and let's get everything set up for you.
Now, what about in all seriousness, have you bought a lot of people lunch yet and figured that out, because that's a big thing here.
I am still I'm still very much learning the community on the who's who and who I need to know and who I don't need to know and who I need to stay away from.
But we all respond to food. I don't know about the duck calls. I mean, we all we're there. We give it. We've got shotguns. We'll be fine. But food we respond to.
Well, now because I'm in the community now and because we're taking this over, I feel that it is my obligation to go around to every restaurant in the city limits of Princeton and eat there at least once in the next coming weeks. And I'm a big old boy. I'm 6'5", 300 pounds. So
how big a boy are you? I've heard that a long time. I'm showing my age this morning is what I'm doing. It's a Monday. Bradley, we sure do appreciate it very much.
Thank you
and
for
of course,
having us on here.
If you see this guy, walk into your business this morning, you'll know why, or in the near future anyway. Of course, once again, give them everybody the phone number so that we can give you a call and get everything set up.
That is 270-252-5302, or my email is Bradley, Bradley, at wastepath.com.
The Joint is serving up pulled pork, brisket, jumbo wings, ribs, chicken, and more with all the fixings to go with it from their secret family recipes, all at The Joint in Eddyville.
If you really enjoy the stories you hear on Traveling the Bluegrass, we'd like to invite you to listen to the whole visit uncut. Just type youragadge.com into your browser. You'll find Traveling the Bluegrass uncut stories in long form, so you don't miss a thing. You'll also find lots of ag news and farm pictures from across the Commonwealth. You can also find all the Kentucky communities that Traveling the Bluegrass can be found. Remember to visit youragadge.com.
Need cash fast? ABC Finance is open with social distancing implementations in place. They believe it's more important now than ever to get a handle on your finances.
Hi, this is Jody Lamb at the Princeton ABC Finance location.
And this is Todd Morse at the Hopkinsville location.
At ABC Finance, we don't just provide loans, but we also provide valuable advice to help you get your credit in better standing.
Our friendly team of professionals has your best interest in mind. We celebrate with you when your finances improve.
We encourage you to like our Facebook page, ABC Finance Company. Many of those useful tips are posted daily on our page, including tons of community info and motivation for the day.
To view social distancing guidelines and safety measures, like and follow ABC Finance Company on Facebook. ABC Finance is located off Fort Campbell Boulevard in Hopkinsville next to O'Charlie's, then Princeton and the Princeton Plaza. Apply for loans online or simply give them a call. They'll take your application over the phone. ABC Finance, all loans subject to normal credit approval.
Life is filled with moments. Moments we share with those we love, worry about, and strive to protect the most. At Woodman Life, we provide life insurance and retirement products to help protect you and your family so that you can enjoy all the moments to come.
This is Josh Ray, your local Woodman Life agent. Come see us at 1009 West Main Street or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
1580 103.3 WPKY. And of course, it's a Monday. It is Take Your Pants on a Walk Day, believe it or not. That's an actual holiday. Take your pants on a walk day. I'm not real sure why people are going walking without them, but that is, of course, that leads us right back into last week's question about cowboys and pants and all that good stuff. I still haven't understood why nobody could figure out about pants, but yeah, I think they're I think there is a necessity. You know, here's one that of course, if you just joining us, we had not just a few minutes ago, Bradley Markey from Waste Path Disposal Solutions. Of course, they're the ones that are going to be taking over our trash service in Princeton the first of the year. So he was just there and talking about all of the different things that we need to know about going forward. Because if we own a business, then we're going to need to talk to him well before that. Of course, don't get me wrong. Everybody just loves to talk about. No, we really don't. It's one of those things that we have to deal with one way or the other. So we're also going to talk I've had a couple of questions this morning. I'm sorry, about fielding phone calls for the Veterans Memorial. Now, that is something that, of course, the boil water is lifted. Boil water order was lifted in Fredonia, by the way. It made me think about it because we're talking about Fredonia. Had a couple of questions about that Veterans Memorial and the bricks that you can purchase in Fredonia for that upcoming memorial. And this is one that really and truly is a very special thing that they're doing. And I love this. I think this is one of the best ways I think you could really honor someone in your family that is a veteran. Of course, they've also added first responders and correctional officers. And I think this is so important and it's something that's very special. And it's going to be something that you're going to want to be a part of and you're not going to want to miss out on. Let me explain this to you a little bit more in detail. Now, the Fredonia Valley Heritage Society and the Fredonia American Legion Post 103, they're co-sponsoring. So, they're both doing it together. It's a co-sponsoring. It's a project to create a memorial for veterans and others of the Fredonia Valley. Now, this is going to consist of a large monument surrounded by a concrete pad. Now, in that concrete pad, we'll have engraved bricks and names of individual veterans, okay? And those are the parts of that you can purchase. Now, in addition, there's going to be two other separate areas of the park that are going to be honored and memorializing first responders, folks like police, firemen, EMTs, etc., and then, of course, correctional officers as well. So now, if you'd like to purchase one of these bricks to get them engraved with your loved ones, name to memorialize them. Very simple. All you have to do is complete a form that you can find right there online. Now, if you go to what's happening in Fredonia, if you contact Mayor Jim Seibert, you can contact City Hall. You can contact, of course, anyone in the Fredonia Valley Heritage Society, maybe the Fredonia American Legion. They can all help you. And, of course, I'm going to give you a couple of names here in just a second for the Memorial Committee for you information. And then, of course, with your money, check your money order. It's $50 to get that brick and to forever be memorialized. And I think that's such a neat thing, and it's very little to pay for your loved one to be memorialized that way. Of course, if you do not wish to buy a brick, say, you don't necessarily have anybody that you would like to have on a brick memorialized, and you would like to donate to the project. If you say, I don't have anybody that's going to be that I need the name on there, you can still donate. And that's one of the questions I had this morning. So yes, they are taking donations for that still. And there's even a place on this form where you can add a donation or place a donation for that. And it's going to be a really neat thing, and you're not going to want to miss out on that, okay? Now, you can, again, this is the Fredonia Valley Heritage Society for the Veterans Memorial in Fredonia Valley. And they are engraving bricks, those brick pavers. And if you have a family member that's a veteran, a first responder, or a correctional officer, then this is for you. Again, you can contact a member of the Veterans Memorial Committee if you need any more information or if you've got questions on that. Of course, committee members are Todd Phelps and Denny Brasher and Rodney Paris, Brenda Fralix, Linda Bennett, Presley Lamb, and Pam Fawn. So there's several different ones that you can call. So we appreciate everybody that's already participated in it, and I know there's a lot more that want to. So again, we're going to have this information on our website. If you missed any of it or you haven't had a chance, maybe you're driving and you can't write anything down at the moment, it'll all be on our website for you to be able to go and pick up and look at. So make sure that you do that. That's the Fredonia Valley Veterans Memorial, and it's an engraved brick, and you can order those right now. It does not say how long they're going to be doing it. I assume that you need to go ahead and get those in fairly quickly so that they can get those ordered. And then again, I did want to mention again before we get out of here too, I say we like I have a mouse in my pocket, but before we get out of here, I did want to mention about Junior Pro signups because that did start again today. They're starting the signups for Youth Incorporated Junior Pro football. And I don't want this mixed up with middle school football. This is Junior Pro football, 3rd through 6th graders, okay? And that's as of today. And that'll be the grade that they're going into, just in case you're asking. It's if they're going to be 3rd graders this year, this is for them. If they're going to be 6th graders this year, this is for them. Now, they're kind of waiting on guidance as far as from the state to see when the start of the season will be. And, of course, there's always that chance that it doesn't happen. Now, if it doesn't happen, let me assure you already, Coach Enos has already said, look, we will give refunds if the season doesn't happen. But as of right now, we're going to go with the fact that we believe that it will. So we're hoping and keeping our fingers crossed and praying for that. And all you have to do is pick up those at Gather on Main or at the drive-thru at Taco John's or through main attraction. Of course, those sheets are outside or through the drive-thru only at Taco John's. Now, don't ask or try to turn them back into those locations. This is just where you can pick it up. Once you get your sheet, you need to fill that out, and you can actually mail it back to the address right there. Now, they're also looking for a cheer director. Please contact any board member for any information about that. The cheer coaches, they are really needing help in that area. Now, flag football is going to be available as well for 1st and 2nd graders. Of course, the details are coming at a later date. If you see anybody that you know, neighbors, or maybe somebody you go to church with that has got a kid this age that wants to play football, this is the time that you do it. So make sure that they know about that. Stick around. We got your full forecast coming up here in just a second at 1580 103.3 WPKY.
We at the Edge Media Group believe in the power of prayer. That's why we're asking you to pray for our community. It's simple. Just record yourself on your phone and email us your prayer. Give your name and